99% of Fibonacci strategies you see on YouTube are absolute cope. So I decided to backtest over 1,000 trades only using one candle. And this one setup you guys are going to learn in this video kept showing up as a consistent winner. So the first step for this system is going to be to measure the previous day's candle from high to low with the Fibonacci tool. And before we get further into the rules for the system, everything that I'm going to be going over is simply just data from the thousands of trades I've collected for this system. All I did was test the data like a scientist and come to a logical conclusion of how the system can actually perform profitably. So now that we understand that, we want to understand the levels we're using for this Fibonacci, which is going to be the 1 level for the daily high, the 0.8 for your stop loss, and the 1.4 for your take profit. And this is going to be the case of buys. For the case of sells, your entry is going to be at the 0 level, which is the daily low, your stop loss at the 0.2 level, and the negative 0.4 level for your take profit. And that is the case of sells. And the idea here is that above the daily highs and the daily lows rests liquidity in the markets. So all we want to do is catch the breach of either the high or the low and anticipate the impulsive move to our take profits, which is also why we want to avoid trading from the hours of 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. EST. This is when liquidity slows down in the markets. So this is where you're going to see a lot of liquidity grabs resulting in losses with this system. And that is what the data has shown. And that is what I'm presenting to you guys today. So ideally, we're only catching entries in London and New York sessions. And just so you guys can see visually, a long position will look like this with a profit of 2R per trade, and the short will look the same but inverse, again with a profit of 2R per trade. Now that we have a simple understanding of how this strategy works, we'll go ahead and dive into the backtesting. But before we do that, if you guys are interested, I do have a free one candle playbook down in the description if you already haven't grabbed it. But anyway, it's in the description, it's completely free. So without further ado, let's get into the backtesting itself. And of course, the first thing we need to do is outline the previous day candle from high to low. And now that we have done that, for the sake of backtesting, we're going to go on the lower time frames so we can really observe price and how it's reacting at these levels. So let's go ahead and outline our fib level here. Let's let the range close out. I'll adjust these fibs for this given time frame. And what I've also done to make this super clear is outline our trading session in purple, which is going to consist of the New York and London sessions. And we only want to be catching trades in these hours, these high liquidity hours. So now that we have our range outlined, we'll go ahead and observe price together. So we have entered our trading hours. This is where we're going to look to strike a position. So at this given moment, ideally, we want to see price run the high or the low. Okay, we're approaching. Okay, so that is going to be a sell order right here with stop loss at this red line and your take profit at the negative 0.4 level for a 2R risk to reward. Okay, so we don't reach our take profit within this daily candle. That is totally fine. We can leave this position open. In fact, we'll go ahead and measure our next daily range from high to low. And we can leave this position open, anticipating maybe in the next day or so, it'll either hit our stop loss or our take profit. And now that we have this next daily range identified from high to low, we can observe what happens in this current day's candle. Okay, we have entered our trading hours. This is where we can look for price to either run the high or the low. Okay, we're approaching the low. And we are entered in the position, which is going to be another short. And simultaneously, we do hit the other position's take profit. Let's go ahead and target this level here. So we do hit this take profit here. It does smack 2R. So what we'll do, we'll get rid of this on screen and we'll go ahead and journal together, which is going to be a plus 2RR for that position. And we have just simultaneously entered this position as well. So we'll see if price reaches take profit or our stop loss before this next daily close. Okay, we do not reach take profit, but again, we're just going to be doing the same thing here, just following the highs and lows. So our high is going to be at these levels here, followed by the lows at these levels right here. And we're going to shrink this position a little bit. And now let's observe price action. Okay, we have entered our trading hours. Now we want to look to take a position. And we do go ahead and breach the low. So that would have been a short at the low there with a stop loss at the 0.2 and our take profit at 2R, which is the negative 0.4 level. And as you guys can see here, this position was hit for a profit of 2R. So we'll get rid of that position there and we'll go ahead and journal another plus 2RR. So now we can observe price. Hopefully it hits either the stop loss or take profit before the next daily close. But either way, it doesn't matter. We can continue holding the position until stop loss or take profit is hit. And whatever happens in this range at this point doesn't really matter. We don't need to look for any other trades. We simply already took our position and we're simply going to let the outcome reveal itself. So we are stopped out on this trade. It went ahead and reversed to this 0.2 level. This trade ran a total of 1.6R. So when you're doing your back testing, it's super important to know how much R the trade ran. So that way you can collect all of your data, come to a conclusion yourself to what RR is the most profitable. And once you have all the data, that is when you can form yourself a set of rules. So you can apply a system to any given strategy and make it profitable for yourself. And that is the truth that most of these YouTubers don't want to teach you, is that you can actually form a profitable system yourself if you understand how to backtest profitably. But of course, the industry does not want you to know this. If you actually know how to make a profitable system yourself, there's no more money left on the table for them. But anyway, now that this trade is a loss, we can delete this position here. We can document on a journal a -1RR, and we'll continue backtesting this session. So we'll let the range close out. And again, whatever happens does not matter until this next daily range. Beautiful. So we have our next daily levels, with the high being right here, followed by the low at this level here. Okay, we don't quite hit the low yet, but what's super important to note is that we are not in our trading hours, so we are not striking any positions at this low, as of course we risk liquidity grabs in these low liquidity sessions. So we want to wait for the purple to show up on their chart, which is really just going to indicate the London and New York sessions. Another important rule with this system is that if this low has been breached, this is no longer a valid level to trade. We are only going to look to trade the highs at this point. Okay, we have entered our trading hours and ideally we hit this high so we can take a trade. Okay, so yeah, we go ahead and run the low. And of course, with the rule of the system, this level is now invalid, so we're not taking any trades at this point, unless we do miraculously run this high, but we'll see what happens. We have entered our trading hours. As you guys can see, the purple is now showing up on screen. And let's see, do we cross the low? Okay, we do get an entry at the low, so we'll place the position there, and we do get instantly stopped out, which is no worries. All this simply is a -1, which is absolutely necessary for the edge of your system to play out. It is gonna happen. Do not be afraid of losses. In fact, what makes a great trader is their ability to become a damn good loser. That is something I learned from Randy Howell. If you guys already haven't checked him out, I definitely recommend it. He's actually one of my favorite trading psychologists. I used to binge watch his videos. But anyway, if you guys have noticed your trade psychology has been lacking, definitely check out Randy Howell. He's super dope. But anyway, let's keep back testing price. And like mentioned before, anything that happens until this next daily close is irrelevant. So we'll let the range close out. Okay, we have our next daily levels, and of course we'll adjust our fibs from high to low. And now we simply want to wait for our trading hours to occur. We've breached the high, but we're not in our trading hours. We have entered our trading hours, so the only valid levels to trade at this point are going to be the low of this range. Okay, and it looks like we're just going to keep trending higher. So we'll go ahead and anticipate the next fib levels as we're back testing together here. Okay, we have entered that next range, so we'll adjust the fibs as such. Now that we have our next levels, let's go ahead and observe price. We have entered our trading hours, so again, we're going to look for the breach of the high or the low. Okay, looks like we're coming up on the high, so what I'll do, actually it looks like we grabbed the high there, so that's perfect. We'll place the trade with a profit of 2R. Beautiful. So that is an instant take profit. So we'll go ahead and document on our journal a +2RR, and we'll delete this position here, and we'll continue letting price play out until we have the next daily high and low. Okay, beautiful. So our range has completed. We'll adjust the fibs from high to low, and simply we'll wait for our trading hours. Okay, we have entered our trading hours. This is now where we're going to look to take a position. Okay, so it was a no trade scenario for this day. So we'll continue measuring out our levels. Okay, we have entered our trading hours. And now it looks like we might breach the high here. Okay, perfect. So we breached the high right there with entry at the open and stop loss at the low, followed by a take profit of 2R. And what's really important when you're backtesting, you always want to observe that candle that taps you in and make sure there's no wicks grabbing your stop loss. And in this case, price simply hit your entry and went right to take profit. But what you're going to need to do is go on the lower time frame, let's say like a 5-minute. There's no indication of price entering you and stopping you out. So that's something really important to note when you're backtesting. This is another winner with a plus 2R within our trading hours. So that is a perfect scenario. So what we'll do, as always, plus 2RR, and we'll delete this position here and we'll do a few more examples here together. Perfect. So we have our next levels being the daily high and the daily low. We have entered our trading hours. So again, we're either going to look for the breach of the high or the low. We have exited our trading hours. We have traded outside of this purple box. So this is another no trade scenario. So we'll keep following price and we'll anticipate the next day to potentially take a trade. And that's the thing, guys, is that when you have these rules set in place, for example, you don't trade outside of your session hours, essentially overtrading takes care of itself. You have no inclination to take a trade when it doesn't follow the rules of your system. So in reality, I don't understand why most traders struggle with overtrading, because it simply means they just don't have the rules in the first place. But I don't know, I mean, maybe some of you guys struggle with overtrading. I'm actually curious if any of you guys struggle with overtrading. If you do, comment down below, because I'm genuinely curious. But if you do struggle with overtrading, a simple fix is just to have some rules and follow them. It's really that simple. But anyway, we have reached this next daily close. So what we'll do is adjust the fib levels as always, from high to low, and we'll wait for our trading hours to occur, denoted by a purple box. Okay, perfect. So we have that purple box there, which indicates our trading hours, which would have been an entry at that one level with the stop loss at the 0.8, with a take profit at this blue line here, aka the 1.4 level. But let's go ahead and confirm if price did not have any funny business when it entered the trade. And it looks like here we are in the clear. Price just hit our entry and went right to take profit. But of course you might see a grab of your order and then a wick, which will just look like this, which you always need to confirm on the lower time frames, whether it wicked this 0.8 level before your entry. If it does, that is still a win. But if it grabs your order and then wicks the 0.8, that is a loss. In live time, of course, you're going to see it, but when you're back testing, you don't always see it. So that is when you need to go in the lower time frames to confirm that it was a winner. And in this case, it is another clean plus 2R. So we'll go ahead and close that position there and document another plus 2RR for the system. So I'd say this was a pretty solid backtesting session. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. But as you guys can see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winners, which is a total of 10R, with 2 losers, which is -2. So that is a total of 8R. In this backtesting session, the system had about an 83% win rate at 2R, which is pretty insane. But of course, this 83% win rate only falls within this sample size of data. Over the thousands of trade I've collected for the system, it's showing about a 60% win rate at 2R. So I'm super excited to trade this live. And after about a month or so that I've traded this live, I will make a trade recap video going over all the trades I took. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this backtesting session. If you did, leave a comment down below. And also, if you haven't already grabbed my free 1 candle playbook, definitely be sure to do so. And again, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer you. You guys have been showing a crazy amount of love recently, which I absolutely appreciate. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.